DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusiveness, doesn't apply to 50-year-olds. Doesn't apply to Gen Xers. At least it seems that way, doesn't it? Ageism is usually overlooked, and it comes from everyone. It comes from management, and it comes from your coworkers. Gen X is the forgotten generation, and it seems like the millennials want to forget us too, doesn't it? Here's a question about Gen X being overlooked. Here it goes. I'm 55 and I've worked for my company for 15 years, and now I feel like I'm being shut out of meetings. I heard younger employees choose younger people to work on projects. They say they're more up to date with what's going on. I think it's about my age. Should I be worried? Hi, I'm Ann. Welcome. You all ready to chat? One of the problems that we have to face is that we're too old for promotions. This is specifically true in the tech industry or advertising industry. I mean, think about it. Everyone forgets that Gen X ushered in the tech industry. We had Atari and Pac-Man. We were there when Al Gore invented the internet. Remember that? And we had the first PCs. We moved right along and saw the progression of it. Millennials didn't. They just popped into it. We're seen as less adaptable, like retirement in place, and we're waiting for the retirement party and the golden watch. So yes, my friend, I think you might have reason to be concerned. Ageism in the workplace is more difficult than it used to be. When we were going into the workforce, boomers were there. And there was a lot of them, and we were not big. We're not a big group. So boomers were there. It was hard to challenge them. So we finally get up to where we want to be, and we have this wave of millennials coming in, and they're challenging us. They have no problem with focusing on our age and shutting us out. And you might have noticed that the ageism comments are subtle. It might be a worker saying, I just love your salt and pepper hair. Or it could be, you probably remember the facts, don't you? Or finally, and this one is my favorite, when you get mansplained about digital, like you've never picked up an iPhone before. And that is ageism. But we sometimes do ageism on ourselves. For instance, when we pick up our glasses at a meeting and we say, you know, when you get to my age, you have to wear these glasses. It's a pain. I've earned every gray hair I have. Or you might be recommending a store or a service and you say, I've been going there for 25 years. You've just aged yourself and you've given millennials ammunition. I faced ageism. I was working for a company and they were bought out by another one. And this company came in and they thought young people were go-getters. And that's who they hired, go-getters. And another friend of mine who worked there and I were pretty much shut out. We had accounts taken, this is sales, and we had accounts taken from us. We were told it was to help us out, free us up for other endeavors. But we were never given other endeavors. We were just supposed to make up for the accounts that were taken away. Well, eventually I quit. But I quit because my husband was running an advertising agency and he needed a salesperson. So I had a reason to quit. I wouldn't have otherwise. No one's gonna force me out. And then my friend stuck it out until she retired 5 years later. I had the last laugh though, because it was an advertising agency. We placed business with this particular company and I made them squirm for every deal. I didn't shut them out. I just made them squirm. But you don't need to quit. But I would insert myself into every aspect of that job. So if somebody calls a meeting and doesn't invite you and should, just go up to the leader of the meeting and say, hey, I'm available for the meeting and I've got a few things to say. So I'll just go ahead and pop in. Is that okay? What are they gonna say? No? They probably won't. They'll probably grudgingly say, yeah, that's okay. Volunteer for projects. Not the crappy ones, not the ones that are gonna make you look bad, but the big ones that you can shine in. You have the right to do this. This is your right. You've been working for a long time. It's your time to shine, not be pushed aside. And finally, keep a journal. Journal every time there's a comment made or you're shut out of something and you know it's because of your age. And I'm not saying, take it to a lawyer. I'm saying write down the name and date and circumstance, what happened. And this is so if you ever need to go to HR to complain or a group of you want to go to HR and complain about the treatment, you have the evidence. Ageism has always existed, and now it's our turn. But you don't have to take it. Go at it with full assault. Don't sit back and let it happen. So, have you ever faced ageism? What'd you do? How did they do it to you? And what did you do to fight it? I'd love to hear everyone would love to hear about this. So, go to the comments, put your thoughts, and thanks for the chat.